Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be looking at the 18-inch Neca Master Chief, and this figure is so amazing. I just got it in the mail. I've only had it out of the box for maybe an hour, and I am so impressed with it. Just so that you know, what we are looking at is actually an 18-inch figure. I'll show you this, which is the McFarlane Halo 4 Master Chief. There he is. And I'll show you one of Master Chief's hands for the 18-inch one is actually the same size as this guy's chest, which is crazy. And here's another size comparison with the McFarlane 12-inch Master Chief. So he just dwarfs everything else in the Halo line. And the packaging did kind of lie about the height. This Master Chief actually stands about 19 inches tall, which, I mean, I don't know why they're underselling their product. I mean, this thing is amazing, but you know, I'm perfectly fine with it being more than 18 inches tall. Before I get sidetracked too much, let's go ahead and look at the packaging. And sorry if it takes me a little while to get set up during this review. It's not my normal station, so kind of have to get used to that. Okay, here's the packaging, and it is huge. If I move my camera any farther back, you'll be able to see past my backdrop. It stands about 21 inches tall vertically, and horizontally is about 11 inches wide. Here on the side, there is the kind of iconic artwork from Halo 4, and this side of the box is about 6 inches, a little over 6 inches. Here on the back, there's an amazing picture of the figure, and down here at the bottom, I'll zoom in so you can see it, there is a description of Master Chief, and if you'd like to read that, you can just pause the video. But back to the box itself, it's done, I mean, rather well. I'm not a huge fan of keeping things in the box, obviously, but they did a nice job on this one. On the side here, there's another picture of the figure here, this time holding the Magnum, so that's pretty cool. But let's get back to the figure, which is the coolest part of this set. Here he is. And I must say, from picking him up there, he's quite heavy. I mean, it's to be expected with a figure of this size, but it is quite heavy. His first accessory that we'll look at here is the Magnum. There it is. I'll go ahead and show you that. And this is the only complaint I have about these figures, or this figure, is that the plastic they use for this feels a little bit cheap. The same thing with the assault rifle. It feels a little bit hollow, but the figure itself makes up for it, so I'm fine with it. You might notice that there's a peg hole here. The set does come with 3 of these pegs. They are removable, and you just plug those into whichever gun you want. There's 1 peg hole on the Magnum and 2 on the assault rifle. I'll go ahead and pull that up here. Here is the assault rifle, as you can see. There's the first peg hole, there's the second, and I'll show you why there's 2 here in a second. But this gun has just amazing detail. They've painted it really well. They've given it a little bit of weathering and everything, so it just looks amazing. And it fits in his hand. I mean, it's just amazing, the fit. Let's go ahead and go over articulation real quick. Oh. Actually, you know what? He's got a couple more accessories. The first, he's got a couple sets of interchangeable hands. This one was not on the figure in the package, so I put that one on. It's the gripping hand for the assault rifle. This one was on the figure when I bought it. This is a trigger hand. And then there are 2 more. A fist hand and another trigger hand for the other side. So let's get into articulation here. He's got articulation here in the head that lets him look down. and not really up. He looks just straightforward, and it does give him a little bit side to side. And while we're looking at the head, I want to go ahead and show you the visor. Get a little bit of light on it so you can see it. It's so well done. It's got kind of a hexagon pattern underneath a clear orange plastic piece, which looks amazing. And moving on here to the body, he's got a butterfly joint that runs horizontally, and it pulls the arm forward about that much. And it does leave kind of an ugly gap here, but I mean, you don't really notice. They've painted inside. And for most times you don't need him to bring his arm that far across his body. So they've done the best they can to make it look good from most angles. And then on top of the butterfly joint, he's got a ball hinge that lets his arm go up really high. I mean, from what I've seen of these Neca figures, they don't normally move this much. So they've really improved that. Then he's got a bicep swivel. And this piece here is made out of rubber, soft rubber, so it doesn't impede articulation. He's got a double jointed elbow, and I'll go ahead and straighten it out here and show you. This is just the first joint right here, and it gives him almost 90 degrees, and then the second joint pulls it even further back. So you get over 90 degrees in the elbow. Then he's got a swivel in the forearm, and then a swivel at the wrist again. That's a little redundant, but that's fine. He's got a hinge at the wrist that works well. And I've heard that other Neca 1/4 scale figures have problems with the paint chipping at the wrist where the peg goes. They seem to have fixed that with this figure. The peg is molded in the same plastic as the hand here, so it's not a huge problem. Here at the chest, there is some articulation, but it's very, very minimal. Right here underneath this piece, you can, kind of move it, but it's not really, doesn't really go anywhere. And then lower down, here above his cod piece, you kind of get the same thing where there's articulation there, obviously, but it doesn't really work. I mean, it kind of does. You get a little bit of a swivel, but not too much. Here at the hips, there's a soft piece. This is a floating crotch piece here. And then his legs can go out like that, and then back in, forward. Gets tons of motion forward, and it does go back about that much. So that's really nice. There is, on top of that, a swivel, so you can twist his leg. Here at the knee, it's a double jointed knee, and you get pretty good range of motion here, about that much. And there is a little rubber piece here that is meant to hide the articulation when it's bent, and it's nice and soft so it doesn't get in the way. Then here at the ankle, I feel like there should be a hinge, but I've only found what appears to be a swivel or maybe a ball joint that doesn't have a lot of range of motion. So that's a little disappointing, but they make up for it by having this toe swivel, and that works pretty much the same way as an ankle rocker does. So overall, this figure is amazing. It is definitely worth the $99 price tag, which does seem like a lot, but Play Arts Kai is making an 11-inch Master Chief that is that's $99. So I would say if you're going to spend your money, buy this guy because it's better value. And one thing I do want to mention too is all over his paint is amazing. My light is a little bit powerful, so it's kind of washing it out. But over his entire body, it's been weathered, especially here on the chest. You can see that. So I recommend this guy 100%. I would say if you're a Halo fan and you like larger scale figures, this is a must-have. So tell me what you think about this figure in the comments section below, and I'll see you later.